Mary Sue is. And then we'll go over some questions. So this isn't intended to bash your character, it's just a helpful guide.
Take it with a grain of salt sometimes, and sometimes love your Mary Sues to death.
Yes, love them. I have a Mary Sue. Okay, he's like Super Mary Sue. Okay, so who knows what a Mary Sue is?
Ooh.
Okay, so we got a couple people.
We got some freshies.
Yeah. Okay, so how many of you guys have seen these stories about characters that are all too fabulous and perfect, and they have a special meaning behind everything, and
they're beautiful.
They're beautiful in every way, and they kind of wear skimpy clothes, and they want to make you puke your brains out. How many of you guys have seen those kind of characters?
I've made some.
Okay.
Kind of.
Almost
okay, so some of the main traits are things like a bad childhood. However, they're still really nice people, and they don't have any problems that spouted from their bad childhood. They might have had the worst childhood ever, but they're not crazy or anything. So they can just overcome anything, and it's kind of annoying because people don't do that. So, any questions so far? I mean, I'm going to go over a lot of stuff, but... Okay, so in personality, they're pretty generic personalities, like... pull up Tonto. Okay, point to Tonto. Okay, so that's Tonto. He is kind of the same as every other Mary Sue. He's made to be a Mary Sue. And he is way too happy all the time. He never has anything wrong with him. And he has superpowers. This story is set in 1973. He brings Lady Gaga through a portal. Oh, and yes, he can pull pancakes out of thin air, and scientists have tried to figure out how he does it. They check him for pancakes, but he just flips them out.
He's Discord.
He's kind of like annoyingly over the top happy. He'll go up to Derek, point to Derek, who's almost an anti-Sue, and he'll just be like, "Hey Derek, what you doing?" He'll be like, "I can read your mind," and yeah, he can read minds if he wants to. And he also inherits traits way too fast. Not inherits, what? Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I didn't get any sleep last night. Okay, so there's also another aspect. They can be really, really happy, or they can be really, really mean, and nobody gives them any crap for it. They just take it. If people were actually that mean, people would be mean back. So, say if Tonto was mean to somebody, nobody would be mean back. So he'd be like, "Hey, you have a zit on your face and it's really ugly. You're ugly." They'd just be like, "I see your point." Wow, I never thought. You just blew my mind. When just a normal character, if they were mean, they'd be like, "You have a zit on your face." The person would be like, "What? Whoa. Well, you have a knack for telling people off or something, I don't know." They get back talk. The major flaws of Mary Sue are quick to temper or stubbornness. and they never give up. And they also have something about them, like they have a singing voice that's so good it's a curse, something that's so good it's a curse. How can something that's good be a curse? Yeah. So that's kind of some aspects of Mary Sue personality.
Oh, we don't have any angsty Sues, dang it.
No, not really. Not really. Okay, so any questions about personality? Nothing? Not even a small little humble question? Okay, yeah?
What kind of traits can you add to a Mary Sue to make them not a Mary Sue?
Take away the pretty things.
Yeah, give them flaws that don't go, like a Mary Sue, okay, they'll have something wrong with them, but they'll overcome it. Derek, in his case, he does have something wrong with him, because he did have a bad childhood. I had to give him something or he would be completely flat. He is completely crazy, and he never overcomes it ever. And he's a raging drug addict, that he doesn't really overcome that either. However, Tonto had a bad childhood. And he overcame everything, and he's okay with his life and everything in it. So just give him some flaws that don't go away ever, because everybody, normal people, like me, like Allie, like Taylor, like Danny, like Alexis, like Steven, like you. We all have personality flaws that don't go away. Yeah. So just give them flaws like that. Any questions on that? Okay. So Mary Sues have a very wide range of skills. Like they might be really bad at something, but like within 5 hours they master it, and if they're say a Jedi in training or something, they'll be like, I can't even hold a lightsaber. But like in 5 hours they'll be better than Yoda. And you're like, how did that happen?
And they'll have a
Wow.
special cool talent Yoda doesn't have.
Yeah, and they'll have a special cool talent that Yoda doesn't.
Or
Like-
anyone else.
Or anyone else. They are very original. Very original.
Very special.
Very special. Okay, with fan characters, like I was just saying, the canon characters like Yoda's a good Jedi, but this Mary Sue will come in and, well, be better than Yoda within 5 hours of training, have way better skill, he could probably like hive mind and, I don't know, control people, I don't know.
Should we move on?
Long flowing locks of hair. I don't know, let's see it backwards. Okay. And they usually possess a really good singing voice. Or they can play a musical instrument really well. Tonto can play the ukulele. Because he's Polynesian.
And by birth.
By birth, you do it. Oh, but yeah, and he also sings really good. He's like Josh Groban times 4,700,000 billion. Bajillion. It's over 9,000. Or they can write songs really well. And most of the time in stories, people can't write songs very well, so they'll just take lyrics from what has already been done. And yeah, use that. I can't say anything about that, I'm sorry. Okay. So, yeah, they usually can, yeah. They also have really, really good athletic abilities. They can run as fast as a cheetah. They can jump as high as a kangaroo. They can jump, they can fly faster than Superman, I don't know. You gotta compare it to an animal though. Because if you don't care,
A bird.
then, I don't know, what's a fast bird?
Or gliding squirrel.
Kite.
Rainbow Dash.
It's even better than a hawk.
Rainbow dash.
Rainbow Dash. They can fly faster than Rainbow Dash, and their sonic rainbow is 47 billion times as good.
What? No, not true.
They get over 20% cooler.
They get 40% cooler in 5 seconds flat.
5 seconds.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
They can usually speak Japanese. They usually speak Japanese.
Or language
They
no
can
one
be
else
from the 14th century in England and be like, I don't know, 12 years old, and they can speak Japanese fluently. Better than a native Japanese person. And they'll be like, Ohio gozaimasu. But it'll sound way better than when a Japanese person says it. Or they can speak languages such as French or Italian. Pull up Requiem and Mikel.
Which one first?
Mikel, I guess. Okay, that's Mikel and Gustav. Mikel is not actually originally my character. I took over him. And he is kind of a Mary Sue. So I kind of just made fun of him. He can do anything. He's a lish. Yeah. He speaks French and English fluently. Oh, he's from France. I don't really know where he picked up English when it's,
Where everybody picked up English.
where everyone picked up English. Where did Gene pick up English?
He was born in England.
Was he? Oh. Okay. So I guess that makes sense. Where did he pick up? Oh, I guess if he's been living in France for a while.
He moved to France.
Okay. Okay, so he's got very possessive and flamboyant tendencies. See, he's a lish, and a lish is basically a zombie creature, I guess you can't say zombie. It's an undead creature that takes over takes over zombies and can hive mind them, group mind them, whatever. And Gustav is one of his zombies, and he's very possessive, and he wants to dominate the world
With an army.
with an army of zombies, of
They're all
clowns
very pretty and flamboyant.
that are very, very pretty. So, okay, let's go into physical appearance. Go to Requiem, I guess.
Yeah, 'cause they're right.
Yeah, Requiem is so beautiful.
Okay, that's Requiem. That's his. Okay. And they're so beautiful it's a curse. However, he was originally like this. This is not originally Taylor's character. He picked it up from another writer who had him just so beautiful. And he had a a deep, seductive voice. So Taylor takes him and scars his face and burns him.
But did make him bald.
But did it make I'm not gonna draw a ball of Requiem.
Still has long, luscious hair.
I still
Yeah.
laugh that I let him keep all his hair.
Oh, wasn't he adorable? Look at his butt. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, do you guys have any questions about the skills? No
Say what now?
humble questions about skill sets of Mary Sue?
Just too many skills in the same person.
Yeah, too many skills in the same person.
They're a Swiss Army knife.
Okay. And then, well, they stand out from a crowd. Like, he'll walk by, not Requiem. Requiem's not very pretty anymore.
Despite this picture.
Is Keith beautiful?
Sure.
Oh, Keith. Okay.
That one.
That's Keith.
Isn't he gorgeous?
These are our pirates. That short, mean-looking female is Merle. She's missing an eye because she's a pirate. That black man is Fitton. That useless one is Keith. No.
Is Keith?
That one with the bunny hat is Scribs. And Merle is making her scrub the sand. Because she's a jerk. Okay. So Keith, I guess, is beautiful. And he catches the attention of all the women. All the women. Catch the attention of all the women. Oh, his chin. His chin only has 5 hairs.
Yep.
Only 5. Not a normal amount. Only 5.
I like how you guys just put 5 hairs on there.
Wait, you're the one who said. Okay.
Exact.
So, yeah, Keith is beautiful. Yeah. And he's so beautiful, he catches the attention of everybody.
Even men.
Even men. So does Jean.
So does Jean.
Okay. And so does Foulet, apparently. Okay, something you'll find common with anime fans is they'll have an unusual hair color that's natural. They'll have purple hair that's natural.
It can change.
They'll have a blue streak that's naturally occurring. Really? You're like, no eyes.
I mean, if they dye it, and then the next they'll have these
And they have like
little
little tips of blonde.
and then it goes to red when they're angry.
Alright, so their eyes change
That's
color.
fine.
Or they have one eye one color and the other another.
I
Yeah.
had a cat like that.
Well, the blue eye brown eye thing is pretty common, so I guess you can have that. Yeah. They also have very shiny, big eye anime eyes that are shimmering, and they usually.
Fools are orbs.
Basically, they look like bugs. Okay. So, and their gaze catch the attention. Someone digs into people's souls. Okay. Seriously? Well, yeah, apparently. Well, you know what? They could probably revive the soul. Okay. And then there's some age restrictions you should be aware of. Okay, so
This one's better for Requiem and Big Hill.
what? Yeah, I guess pull up them. Okay, so they'll be 500, well, I guess 60 years old, but they'll look 20. You can never go over 21 with the Mary Sue, by the way. Never.
Requiem is 700.
Yeah, Requiem is 700, but he looks 24. He's immortal. He's a necromancer, and he's immortal. So, yeah, there's an example.
Mikhail is about the same age.
Mikhail's about the same age, and he looks about 15. So, that's kind of a giveaway. Like, if they're like 60 and they look 60, you got some like points that you can take off of your Mary Sue scale. Because looking 60 is apparently a very bad thing.
Shame on people.
Clothes, they're usually pretty revealing or impractical, like,
Like this.
that's not impractical. I mean, the way he's standing is.
The thing around his neck.
What?
The thing around his neck, like how's that?
Oh, that's an actual ruffle that clowns wear.
Oh, never mind.
I took that from an actual image of a clown from the, I don't know, 1920s. Okay, they'll usually are fishnets. And just really extravagant things. I want to compare it to like 100 anime characters right now, but that would not be nice. Cloud's and Sephiroth's swords are just too big. Okay.
Compensation.
Lots.
Oh, gosh. Okay, what they wear is usually what the person writing this person wants themselves to look like, and they'll give them the same traits like Tonto. Okay, so I have a mole right here. Tonto has a mole right here because I do. And apparently I want to be a Polynesian man. Apparently.
Or maybe he wants to be a woman.
Or maybe.
I think he's striving to.
Oh, he'd probably just change his gender if he wanted to, just like. Anything Mary Sue like, he can just put to Tonto. Okay,
Let's talk about his rampages. As an example. His rampage.
Oh, sometimes Tonto, he'll get excited and he'll paint the walls of Derek's small apartment like the Sistine Chapel. Because he can paint the Sistine Chapel in one night. He'd probably do it by going one brush stroke. Sistine Chapel.
Color orange.
Okay, they'll usually really big description of their clothing and how beautiful they are. Just how gorgeous they are.
And their colors.
And their colors, and they'll just be the best things in the world. And they'll say you're trying to make a really pretty character in like the modern world. They'll have designer clothes, but they'll be living on the street. And you're like, well, why don't you stop spending that money on your designer clothes and go get an apartment?
Yeah, seriously.
Or like living up, I don't know, you're stupid.
Maybe they found
They might have some kind of birthmark or something, like I explained with the mole, that is very meaningful. Very meaningful. Let's say Tonto has a birthmark of a kangaroo on his hand because he's as fast
As a kangaroo.
and as pouchy, I guess, as a kangaroo.
He's striving to become.
And he's striving to become a mother. And yeah, they're usually very special things. They'll use things like common descriptions are like it was violet, red, purple, green. So it was like a blue gray or something. It was the color of the ocean after a storm. So gray. They'll have little accessories like magic jewelry, like, I don't know. Yeah, we don't have anybody who, Fitton wears fingers around his neck.
Those aren't magical.
He's a serial killer. Okay. Fitton is a serial killer and he wears the fingers of his victims around his neck.
Why are they all black?
Because they're gross and dead.
Because they're gross and dead. Okay. But I think that would be kind of a takeoff point because that's really gross. And he goes around and smells like poop all day. And dead things. He likes to get real close to Merle. Real close.
Gross.
Sometimes he sucks on the fingers. Okay, they'll usually have some kind of crazy weapon like a massive fan, or a massive sword, or a katana. Doesn't matter where in the world they're from, what time era, they will have a katana. And if they have two, whoa, yeah. And it doesn't matter why they have a katana, they just have a katana. Or they'll have some kind of cool gun that's not common anywhere in the world. They might have a time machine where Tonto has portals. Not like portals, not like
Yeah, he slaps
portals, but like I'm gonna throw Lady Gaga through a time warp portal. So yeah, I put Lady Gaga in the 70s using Tonto. And the time warp. So any questions about description? Yes.
If I have a comment here, because I never actually read this was like kind of a, tally sheet for, Mary Sue points.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the anti-Sue points were ridiculous because they say, well, what, they're ugly, they're fat, they're retarded. And I have to say, no, I think actually those could, because if someone's, out of shape and out of fat and yet they kick butt, that makes less sense than someone who's...
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And I think, actually one of my characters, because I was firstly going to have described her bust and her butt, and I thought, no, just, okay, she has this ponytail, and she's Jewish descent, and maybe I should like this word rouge because of religious, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you think that's attractive, fine. If you don't, fine.
Yeah.
Just.
Thank you for bringing up that point.
So
most female suits, they will have massive, massive, massive boobs, and they'll be really perky. Like really perky. They'll be like double D's, and they'll be like up here. And you're like, how does that happen?
Pillow.
And they pillow perky.
I'm actually turned off by big boobs.
Oh yeah, they'll be really skinny.
I don't understand.
They have like this tiny waist you could wrap your fingers around.
So they should follow.
So I just say the best way is just lay out the adjectives. Just.
Yeah, use some. Go take an anatomy class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just say.
Yeah.
No.
So.
This is.
Yeah.
Her in itself.
Or okay, so in regards to outfits, go to Derek and Tonto, because I actually want to use their outfits. Okay, so I actually went online because I'm trying to be historically accurate with this. The thing that Derek's wearing, the one that's smoking, yeah, that's a real sweater from 1973. He wears really ugly, ugly sweaters. He has no fashion sense whatsoever. Tonto, those are real things from the 70s. However, that was not an outfit. Who would ever wear that? The one next to Derek, the blonde one, that's Artie. There really is a shirt from the 70s that says, "I like pie." And if you'll notice, I give him little things like beards, moles, things like that. The next one is Vanessa. She's also wearing stuff from the 70s. The next one, I did not design her. That is my friend Liz's character, who we put in. Okay, and this is Charlotte, the kind of slightly overweight one. I made her kind of slightly overweight.
And that's why they were billion fat jokes.
And Derek never stopped making fun of her weight, even though she's really not that big. She's really not that big at all. But Derek is really, really, really incredibly mean to everybody. And then that really skinny one, who is just kind of perky and looks like a Pomeranian, is Joan. And that's Derek's future wife. But when the story starts out, Derek hates her because she's too perky and happy. He's still really annoyed with her all the time. And yeah, those are all real clothes from the 70s. So do something historically accurate with time, their clothing with time and stuff. With the circus pictures, I did circus outfits. With the pirate ones, I did real pirate outfits.
To an extent.
So, to an extent, I mean, the pirates actually we created a different universe for them. So, yeah. Any questions at all?
You should go on to me.
Okay. Also, with their little accessories is an animal companion, and it's like their spirit animal. Yeah, like Aang has Appa, and don't get me wrong, I love Avatar with my whole heart, but he does have Appa, even though Appa's awesome. I would not say that's very Mary Sue, because Aang is not very Mary Sue at all.
And buffaloes aren't very Mary Sue.
Yeah. Okay, show Beep Beep.
Meet his animal companion.
This is Beep Beep. His legs are really that small. And he jumps around and he does not bark. He goes beep, 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 beep. He's a dog.
And his color and his lines never match.
And his colors and his lines never match. And Derek kind of, he's just to learn to accept Tonto. because he can't understand, he can't fit logic to Tonto. So yeah, and now relationships and stories. We're gonna go with fan characters here versus OCs. Okay, so there'll be a canon character. Say I'm gonna have to use Edward Elric, because there are a lot of pairings with Edward Elric. If you guys seen the end of Brotherhood, oh, that's all. Okay. However, okay, so this canon character is meant to be with somebody else. Canon, you know, like say A is supposed to be with B in a story. However, then the MS comes in, Mary Sue, and A starts to hate B because Mary Sue is better.
I've seen that with Yu-Gi and Yu-Gi-Oh! It was horrible.
Oh my gosh.
It happens all the time. They want to pair their character with the canon main character because the main character is awesome. They'll also their relationship, yes.
Yeah, and the problem with some of these have a little bit of fan following because, you know, they are okay with A, you know, liking the Mary Sue because they hate B.
What about the characters
they'll
where Mary
demonize
Sue is just a character everyone hates?
Taylor.
Yeah.
Or they'll just demonize B to make A and Mary Sue.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Like
Well, the deal is, yeah, I mean, some deal is, like I read this one Rana fic, I mean, this is blatant Mary Sue. She was textbook Mary Sue. I mean, it was, you know, you can just list them off. You know, she had troubled childhood. She's a prodigy. She's a 17-year-old police officer. And, you know, it just does not happen. And the first thing Rama notices, she's beautiful. You know, and some guys, some guys saying she's not Mary Sue, and some guys saying, look, one thing, you're having Rama out of character here, because he's not going to say, oh, woe is me, why is Akane picking on me, because that's not what he ever does. He just says, like, you know, what's her problem? You know, like, and he says, and the deal is, yeah, the Akane haters are just eating it up. Because, you know, they hate Akane so much, they'll be okay with this blatant Mary Sue.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll take him away. So Kaui Destes comes in and takes Naruto away from Sasuke.
Aww.
Because Sasuke did something horrible.
Besides,
It's like me,
Okay, so yes.
Now, one thing on the question is, now what if the original character is just causing a little bit of a love tension, a little tension here, but this actually strengthens the A-B pairing?
Then that would actually be a helper character, a side character, not Mary Sue. Those are generally not Mary Sue's, they're just extras, and those fan characters are good additions to the story.
there's another episode.
Yeah, they're another episode. And it's okay to, you know, have, okay, so say, we're gonna use Naruto again. Naruto is in, what's the Leaf Village called? I haven't seen the show. Konoha. But the other one's in the, wherever Zazubo is from. Yeah, your characters from there. You can still have them in the world, if you want to have them in Naruto world. And they don't necessarily have to know the main characters. I mean, they can, and be a strengthening support character. And that's okay. It might be, say, Sasuke and Naruto's child. That might be your Mary Sue.
Wait, wait, which one's the girl?
Sasuke, obviously.
Okay.
Sasuke is the girl.
Spawned in their forehead.
Spawn from their foreheads are Zeus. Okay. And say Sasuke and Naruto are like 12 years old. They will have a child. And it doesn't make sense. There's a person with a hand up.
I'm a little wary about something, but I have more than I'd like to. Our OC shipping is fine if it's on I have different characters. New characters I like, but favorite characters just a slice. But just look for the kids. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's yeah.
One thing they do with traits is, I mean, it may be okay if they have this story straight, provided they have a damn good explanation why. I mean, if they are kicked, like the deal with the Jedi is saying, I mean, if he's this good after 5 years of strenuous testing.
5 months.
I mean, maybe, or 50 years, more likely. But
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they can get really good after a long amount of time. It just can't be a ridiculously short amount of time. Yes?
That has to be good with the long amount of time. That could be just shortened by a time skip if you're worried about it.
Yeah, you can have a time skip. That's always okay.
yeah.
Yes?
Yes!
Yeah.
Best comic ever. Explain this one.
Cabo drew all of Vanessa's. And Star Trek.
Okay, and then
Leslie.
and then orientation, sexual orientation. Pull up that.
Steven, cover your ears.
Okay, so first is Merle, who does not like to show her emotions. Okay, so pirates are stuck on ships for 6 months at a time.
They don't see
There's a lot of men.
Yeah.
Hardly any women. We have a woman captain,
And she's not supposed
but
to
she's,
be
no, she's kind of ugly. Kind of gross. You don't want to touch that. So pirates, as they often would do in the past, would do this. So there's Merle, and they're explaining their sexual orientation. However, there's a lot of gay characters, not just in general for Mary Sue's. They can either be super straight, but tolerate gay people, which is okay because most people are like that. Well, I would say like half the people. I don't know. Maybe not in Utah. Okay.
Onward.
But they might be gay, but it's because, I don't know, there's some really stupid reason rather than they're just gay. Like, really stupid reason. I can't think of any right now. I'm not very creative right now. I'm
I
sorry.
don't think we've read that story.
No. Or they might be asexual for some stupid reason. Yeah. So their sexual orientation will be a very big part of them and be really annoying, just like everything else is a big part of them and really annoying. Okay. So, any questions about that? Don't think I explained that very well. Okay. There'll be lots of story plots with them. Like they're the chosen one.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear that a lot, they're the chosen one. Yeah, you can take off that now.
Yeah, I was wondering. Now what?
Pull it. Mark wheel. Okay, so it'll be the chosen one, or a really good necromancer.
Yeah, but he had 700 years to
Yeah, he's got 700 years behind him. They might be the best at something. No, they will be the best at something. They will be the best in the land, the best in all of the universe that has come before and will come after. They will be the best ever. They will be the fourth Hokage. Or fifth. Well, okay.
No, they're all the Hokages.
She is, or they are destined help someone. Tonto is destined to help Derek, even though Derek's just like, no, I don't think so. You're just annoying. Get away from me. Yeah, Derek never really ends up liking Tonto. Ever. They might have parental issues, abandonment issues that they can overcome, like I said. They'll just, yeah, they're not very realistic with it either. Derek's got, what's that thing called? PTSD, never goes away. However, Tonto does not, because he can overcome things. He can overcome everything. Do all that tragic. His dad wanted him to be a mechanic. He wanted to be a fairy.
It was awful.
So he moved to New York.
And became a mechanic.
He became a mechanic.
Why
Broke
San
Derek's car with pancakes, by the way.
Not cars.
Okay. They might have lots of, like, battle scars. However, like, they might be in a lot of fights and get bloodied up a lot, but they'll now have no scars, no bruises, or anything. Like, during the blood, they'll be like, blood? During the fight, they'll be like, wiping away their blood. And, like,
And then after a big old bandage, they were fine.
yep, after bandaging, they're fine. They have no scars.
Or bruises.
If you guys noticed in Fullmetal Alchemist, oh crap, that's a spoiler.
Cover your
Darn
ears.
it. Okay,
Bleach does it a lot.
no. I'm using this as a good example, not a Mary Sue example. However, you guys have to watch it. I can't spoil it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay, yes.
What about death? Like a Mary Sue dying or then goes back to life because the world wouldn't let her die?
Yeah, that's pretty Mary Sue.
That's good.
Another thing is that when the Mary Sue is near death, main character puts everything out of his way and cares about this more than if the love interest was in this scene.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Mary Sue example through our characters. Okay, so Mikkel died. He was sent to hell. However, Requiem, being a necromancer, brought him back from the dead.
Because Requiem does that.
Yeah, but he's like dead twice and brought back. I guess everybody is dead twice.
Everybody's dead.
It's a pretty
Everybody's
Mary Sue
dead
character.
3
So
times.
fun. Oh yeah, one of the characters is dead 3 times.
Especially
Dead,
Sailor
brought
Moon.
back dead, brought back dead.
Sailor Moon, everyone comes back to life at least 5 times. I know.
There's also hybrids, like furries. I am not a fan of furries. I'm sorry, fans of furries in here, but I am not a fan of furries. They freak me out. They're like the horrible accident of bestiality incident. And they freak me out. They might be. You know what? We might need a picture of James.
All right.
Aww.
Okay, so James is a werewolf.
Oh,
Yeah.
that picture's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, computer stop. Okay, so, however, yeah, he's a werewolf. So,
Oops, wrong one.
my friend actually wanted like a more human figure on him, but I was like, I can't do that. So I gave him a more werewolf figure. I was like, I just can't do it.
With a tiny bit of fog.
This is the first furry I've ever drawn, by the way.
The only.
The only.
Except the sparkle dog.
Oh, except I had a sparkle dog.
But that was to
Okay, oh, yes. Wolf is a pretty Mary Sue thing. If they're like part wolf or part hawk,
Part elf.
part elf,
Or Alf.
part dragon,
Lots of pleasure.
part cat, part cat.
Yes.
And Neko girls? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh. And they have to be like Howie, des. Well, I just ended that sentence a lot. Okay. They might be half vampire. I don't know how you can be half vampire.
They have a pulse.
I guess they have a pulse, but they suck people's blood. Maybe they're just crazy people.
They're cannibals.
They're cannibals. Okay. Wings are pretty common. White hair is pretty common.
Hey, don't make fun of Slayer.
Scripts.
Masahiki is pretty common. Being the leader of something is pretty common. Hey, that could have been a spoiler, stupid.
Oh, I could have. Oh well.
Okay. There might be like a big issue in the world. Like everyday issues like equal rights. Really? Okay. Sorry, I only have 5 minutes. Okay. So you know what? I'm gonna stop here and just ask questions. Cause I was gonna reserve 5 minutes for questions. So yes.
Yeah, I want to comment. One big deal for a Mary Sue with a fan fiction deal is if these original characters they eventually take the precedent over the canon characters, and they are, in fact, they just replace the canon characters.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, this is why, in my humble opinion, I'm sorry to tell you, Tom Cruise fans, but I do consider the Mission Impossible movies to be Mary Sue fan fictions of the series, because Ethan Hunt is a Mary Sue.
Yes.
What do you think is the most common Mary Sue gender? Not
Female.
counting the ones
Yeah.
that are double as well.
Female.
It's a female.
Yeah. Sarah and then that kid.
Brittany,
And
could you draw my OC, Sugar, Sparkle, Sunshine, Uchiha?
okay. Yes.
What bugs me is when you insert a Mary Sue and you change all the other like canon characters to work with this Mary Sue.
Oh yeah, that bugs me too. Yes.
That's just a sign of saying I want attention.
You know what's always fun is when an OC is hated by the actual cast.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here's the question. Say this guy right here is a swordsman. Great swordsman, right? Kind of like what the subject said before, he's the best in the past, future, or whatever. But what if he considers himself not the best and actually wants someone to be he does everything not to fight?
You know, I never thought about that, but I don't think that's Mary Sue at all. I think that's actually a good plot element.
Because like, let's say like, oh my God, he's awesome. He took down all these demons in like one swing. I'm not the best at all. What can I do? But
I think that's a good plot element. You work with that. Yes.
James likes that.
They usually actually have Japanese names or big eccentric names, but Japanese names are very common.
They also have fashion names.
Fashion names,
Colette.
quite a bit. I think, is there a kid with this? Oh no, are you, I'm sorry, I can't see you very well. Do you have your hand up? Or are you just, okay.
Chillin'. Yeah.
Yes.
I've noticed in gaming fan fiction, it's really, really common for the Mary Sue to be like a normal, modern person that magically gets transported into the game.
Yes.
And it's really...
Speaking of magically transporting, Tonto just shows up one day, and he's at the, he kind of goes to Derek's door in order to get his attention because he's been popping up in toilets and stuff, out of his toilet, out of Derek's toilet, and he comes to his door on a white horse and a sword in hand, and he's like, get off my doorstep. Yes.
Yeah, in my opinion, this is what I call an uber Sue. There's those that have a superpower or godlike powers in a universe where nobody else does.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's maybe an X-Men fic and they're a mutant and they have power, yes. If they have like godlike, like they're the savior of the world, godlike powers, kind of wings, no.
Yeah, that's a good point. Another Mary Sue trait about all of the circus characters that we have is this takes place in modern day France, but they all have a special skill like Requiem. First of all, his name is Requiem. Second of all, he's a necromancer. Mikkel is a Lich. Oh, Mikkel's name is Mikkel. That's a German name, but he's French. James is an illusionist. His name's James, and he's from England, so that's okay.
He's an English gentleman.
But you get it. Okay, yes.
Would you consider characters in My Immortal?
I have not read My Immortal.
That's been
So-
involved with the panel. We're reading this crap.
Yeah, we'll read it when
6
we-
in one story.
Okay, well, my time is up, so sorry.
Thank you.
I hope you learned something. And
We learned a lot of things. Yeah. Woohoo! Peace out, peoples. Is the camera still rolling?
What?
Is the camera still rolling?
You are
It is?